So a recent new grad that I know asked me, Melky, what is a PIP? And he linked me this article from Team Blind. Now, Team Blind is probably the worst source for anything tech related, but their question still stands. The title of this article or this blog post was Capital One, should I take the PIP or the severance? Which kind of led me through a rabbit hole of discovering the current fiasco with Capital One and their PIP situation. But really, I want to break down in this video what is PIP, why I think it's toxic tech culture, what happens. If you haven't heard about it, I can explain it, and overall the current status of PIP in tech. Now, PIP stands for Performance Improvement Plan, aka you're getting fired. The title Performance Improvement Plan may not necessarily dictate the fact that you're going to get fired, but if you know anyone who has gone PIP, has tried to fight PIP, or know even tech companies that are very, popular in delivering PIPs, you would know that most of the cases they just want you gone and there's no real hope about improving. Now I'm going to break down the 5 W's, starting with who being who made this famous, and this was made famous by Amazon, but currently it's widely adopted in many big tech companies, even small tech companies, and it impacts all software engineers and ICs or individual contributors. And I saw this article from Business Insider about a couple years ago that said I worked in Amazon HR and was disgusted at what I was seeing with performance improvement plans. Then I got put on PIP and knew I had to quit, which is really the summary of how PIPs should be treated. It's not a way for you to improve, it's a way for you to understand you are going to be fired. And if you want more evidence as to how popular PIPs are, you can see here just got PIP by Amazon, Capital One, but really you just have to search PIP on something like Team Blind and you'll see there's a bunch of different PIPs going on in many different companies. Again, Amazon being one of the more popular ones, but it's not surprising to see Microsoft, Google, and even other companies. Meta is very popular for doing these PIPs. They could be known as something else in different companies, but essentially it's a way to fire you if you're not hitting certain quotas. So the next W is what? And it basically means you're getting fired, and this could be for a ton of different reasons. The managers / higher ups just don't like you anymore. They need to get rid of you. What a better way than to come up with a PIP? There could be layoffs or budget cuts. This is a primary reason to justify a PIP. You're no longer hitting expectations. A lot of different companies such as Amazon or Meta have evaluation criteria. So once a quarter or half a year or every year, they evaluate if you're below expectations, meeting expectations, or exceeding expectations. And if you had a strong bar and you're no longer hitting that, that could be a reason for you to get PIP'd. The company could be thinking you're resting investing. Now, this one could sound kind of surprising, but it happens more often than not, especially for senior people or people who have like family and do things outside of work. Higher ups, especially a new manager, new director, could potentially see that you are just resting investing and not being really like innovative and trying to push the boundaries anymore. The way I like to think of it, it is a plan to put you on the right track. That's how HR is going to describe it to you. But really, it's just a way for them to have an artifact in their legal kind of backing that you can't sue them for being unjustly fired, which is why there are so many different reasons. It's not one reason why you're going to get put on PIP. It's really dependent on whatever BS excuse the company wants to create to put you on a PIP just so they can get you out of the company. Now, before I go to the next section, I want to kind of touch on the name, the Performance Improvement Plan. The name kind of thinks that, hey, we noticed that you're kind of slacking or something's up. Let's put a plan for you to improve and get back to that level that we know you once could deliver at. But that's all nonsense, right? It's just a soft way to tell you that you're going to get PIP'd. No one says, hey, I've been put on a Performance Improvement Plan and it really kicked me up. It really made me realize where I'm lacking. If you get put on PIP, you're like, oh, God, that sucks. I'm about to get canned. I should probably start looking for a different job, right? It's a way for your company to create this kind of agenda, this narrative that they try to raise their worries and have worked together with you to improve them, but really it's not happening, right? Typically, a PIP is you get notified that you put on PIP, so it's you're in a one-on-one with your manager, and then HR comes in, and then they make it official. It's like, hey, you are officially put on PIP. It's like a notice. So they put on your file, and it said on this date they have started PIP. And typically, what happens, you get 2 weeks to improve it, or 3 weeks, or whatever. And what does it mean to improve it? Well, that's the part that there's a huge flaw. There isn't one set of criteria that if you hit, you're guaranteed to keep your job. It is totally subjective, and it's up to the manager and HR and whoever else that's involved to decide if you hit this new bar or not. And that's really kind of the loophole and a huge advantage of companies using PIPs to just get rid of people they no longer want to keep on payroll. And I kind of just described the how, so I'm going to loop in the when and why together. So when, it's basically when it's convenient for the company, and no matter the reason, right? Again, a lot of the times you see layoffs, a lot of the times you see new managers don't want to shake things up, a lot of times they want to, bring in younger talent to get rid of the older talent who've been there for a while, or, like the new AI boom that anyone with AI could do the job of a more senior person for half the cost. You know the reason. So the when doesn't really matter. And a lot of the times, if you look on Blind, they come out of nowhere. I have this article here, 10% Microsoft PIP from April 21st, right? Microsoft taking the Amazon approach to clean the house along with paying pennies. Satya going negative on the AI spend and using it to blame employees. That's exactly the point. Google is becoming a PIP factory. This is from June. My friend who joined Google less than a year ago as a new grad was told by her manager that she should take VEP, voluntary severance, or she will be put on PIP for the next review cycle if she doesn't improve. The tone of the manager was basically you will be put on PIP no matter what. The manager has not communicated that she was doing bad until now. This is all messed up. Again, they don't owe you any kind of precursor before you get pipped. You could be doing fine. The manager could be giving you decent signal, whatever, and all of a sudden there's a meeting with your manager, with HR, that puts you on official PIP. And why? Yeah, like I said before, it's really hard to get rid of people legally. Like, you can't just say like, hey, you're no longer good, get out. That doesn't work. You get sued. PIP is a way to counter that. It's a loophole, right? And I think really the reason why I'm kind of seeing this a lot of the time now is a lot of these articles, a lot of this new wave of AI, right? People getting replaced by AI, people, whatever. It is like a relentless rise of the PIP, right? The dreaded performance improvement plan is becoming a more popular management tool than ever, but do they actually work? So I don't know where the article is going to go. I like the title of this. The answer is they don't work in trying to improve the core efforts of the employees. It does work to keep headcount down and to reduce any sort of headcount as well. And it is a tool that managers are using more and more because, like I said, with the rise of AI, a lot of these big tech companies are switching how they view their teams, what they should be delivering, and how much they should be paying each individual contributor. So I like this kind of blog post on Team Blind. PIP is worse than a layoff. Placed on PIP 30 minutes after 2 weeks notice. Too many PIPs. Is Microsoft now the worst big company after zero severance and PIP? So you can look at all this. PIP is like not a new thing. It's not something I've discovered. It's been around for a long time, especially in big tech. I do think PIP is kind of the cauldron for worst behavior and toxic behavior in tech. It makes people work under some precursing notion that you have to work your ass off 24/7, please your manager, kiss their ass, do everything all at once, and you may still get pipped. There's no guarantee that one day you won't be pipped. There's no, like I said, there's no precursor. I've known people who've worked at companies for like 8-10 years, all of a sudden get pipped, right? It's really a shame that this happens, and I've seen it for reasons that the manager doesn't like that employee, no matter what. It could be a new person joining a team, the manager doesn't like them. They've had great reviews in their previous teams, and the manager gets rid of them. And it's really like a bullshit tool, if you ask me. This doesn't really happen in smaller companies where someone can say the manager shouldn't have that kind of leverage, or even a director for that matter. You can't just get rid of people if you don't like them, right? They're still doing good work and raising the value of the company. That's good enough. You don't have to like everyone on the ship as long as you are steering in the right direction. But PIP allows these big companies to leverage it and basically get rid of people and not treat them as humans at all. And that really pisses me off. So I think what I want to conclude this video is, have you ever been pipped? Have you heard any horror pip stories? If you have, let me know. I can compile them, maybe make a video, do something fun. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. It definitely means a lot, and it helps the channel and the video. So I appreciate them, and I'll see you guys in the next video.